Desde el hondo crisol de la patria se levanta el clamor popular, ya se anuncia la nueva alborada, todo Chile comienza a cantar, recordando el soldado valiente, cuyo ejemplo se hiciera inmortal. Enfrentemos primero la muerte, traicionar a la patria más. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Campesinos, soldados y obreros, la mujer de la patria también, estudiantes, empleados, mineros, cumpliremos con nuestro deber, sembraremos la tierra de gloria, socialista será el porvenir, todos juntos haremos la historia, a cumplir, a cumplir, a cumplir. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer.
Here. I did as usual. I don't expect anybody to tune in for about, well, an hour. Hey, Lizzie, would you like to come up here and say hello to the internet? One of my keys is here during this time. So come on. It's just going to be a short period of time. Okay. You just want snacks. That's all you want from me. That's what you want, snacks. Well, guess what? On the side. So, as I said in the description of the video, we are finishing up something, a part of the island, just one of these things that it's killing a lot of birds with one stone, basically. I've been meaning to add the lost and found to the island, and the reason it kills several birds with one stone is it allows us to add stuff that, are clues and such, and also it allows us to include some of the people who wanted their name mentioned in the game. Let me just see here. Do we have the lost? Yeah, you see here, people they wanted to be mentioned in the Peace Island Lost and Found and have an item of their choice there. And this is, just really rough. Ooh, I see some overlapping stone there. Got to do that. Got to take care of that. Okay. Anyway, you'd see little things like that. But right now it's just a table with stuff on it. And really, in most cases, that's what the Lost and Found is. If you ever think that, oh, the Lost and Found is some real big safe house in some place, and no, it's just a drawer. And in this case, we decided to make it a table because it's more accessible. And one this one person, they wanted their daughter loves pandas, and they wanted a panda toy in her name. Another one, two people said they wanted pieces of clothing with no direction, so it was a sort of like a ska, a rude boy parachute, a shoe and a pair of sunglasses, a cell phone, because some of the stuff can't all be accounted for because some of it has to be lost, you know. But and like I said, yeah, somebody wanted their name on just an object, and I think the best way we figured out to do that was to, at least this person could have their name there on the object itself, because you know footballs usually have the brand name right there on the thing. So anyway, now let me see. I'm gonna see if I can put on some music in the background while I talk at a lower volume, so you don't have to. Well, I mean, for those people, those two people who are listening. Let me see. There's just that sound. Yeah, all the way down. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So let's see here. Just yeah, you know, I try to keep politics out of you know discussions about our game here, but you know, it's a long and winding road that led me to game development. And one of the things I did on that long and winding road was I worked in politics for, you know, on and off, I'd say for about 25 years. You know, and she's and unfortunately, well, fortunately for good or ill, for a while I ran a political website and you know, et cetera, et cetera. You know, that was before I was invited to speak at George Washington University, and I, you know, went to the JFK School of Government, and I discovered how much of a lost cause politics is. But anyway, and so, but you know, here's the thing. Uh, it's kind of strange because, I mean, again, I understand why people would be voting for somebody like Donald Trump. The force that led Donald Trump to grabbing the Republican nomination was the same force that led Bernie Sanders to coming very close to. I mean, he would have become the nominee had it not been for the Hillary operatives within the DNC. But anyway, but I mean, well, we're not going to go off on because I could really. Here's the thing: is geez, for lack of, I'm trying to come up with the term. What is a proper term for? There is not a shared reality that exists in this country anymore on a political divide. Because I mean, you have a guy. I mean, again, I don't even need to say anything. We know everything that he's done, what he hasn't done, how bad of a president he was, et cetera, et cetera. And honest to goodness, there are people out there that will honestly die for this man. And the thing is once you realize that really you cannot, I mean, there's some people out there, and God bless Sarah Silverman and a lot of people who, I mean, I think there are some other people who are trying to like bridge the divide between that is gathered in this country. But really, people need to just wake up and understand we are never going to communicate on a factual level with people that are diehard Trump fans. We just cannot. And uh, I don't know. I knew that Donald Trump was going to. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, he got his felony counts, et cetera, historic." Yes, absolutely, fantastic. Enjoyed for the time being because, again, he's going to appeal, and he's going to be able to say, "I'm," et cetera, et cetera. He's going to probably get a judge that's far more like amicable to his needs, and the trial might last a couple of weeks, which will give him more free publicity in the middle of the campaign, et cetera, et cetera. So, but. Because, and I'm saying all of this to say, before I continue with what I'm about to get into, because, well, we'll see, is that I just want you to understand that, let me see, we got that, yeah, let's see, make sure that I've got everything there. Yeah, everything's hooked up. And I got this, let's see here. I wanted to put these posters up at around a couple of places. Let's see. These is just say, here's the thing: is back during the days that I ran that political website, I think I may have contributed to a little bit to the toxic environment that was going on in politics in this at those times. But here's the problem: is I mean, well, I don't think I have to give you like a history lesson of the war in Iraq and etc. It's just that the people right now are saying we got to get rid of these establishment politicians and all these lies that got us into this war in Iraq and all of that. Well, I guarantee those same people were out there screaming, yelling, "We got to go to a war with Iraq. We got to go to a war with Iraq." And the problem is these people who are complaining about politicians who, indeed, and media who led us into that, understand it takes two to tango. And while people like I were always against the war in Iraq, people like the same people right now that are going, "Oh yeah, we're voting for Donald Trump because he's not establishment and he didn't participate in those lies, et cetera, et cetera." Understand that these are the exact same people that were feeding, I mean, promoting those exact lies and saying we have to invade, we have to invade. And it's like I didn't believe you guys back then. And I can't believe you right now. I don't think I ever will. I just can't. Because, how long has it been now? 25 years? Consistently wrong. And every time they've been, I mean, it's been George W. Bush. And, it's just been a slow slide down for the Republican Party. And I guarantee you a lot of the Republican Party would agree with me on that. Mitt Romney, I mean, the Republican, candidate for president a few cycles back, he would agree with me on that. But we have to get working. There's some flyers. This is Lost and Found. LF. Okay. But anyway, I mean, that's what everybody is like just so happy over this. They do just need to understand that when the retrial happens, it will probably be long. Uh, he's going to be in jail. He's probably going to get a suspended sentence, et cetera, et cetera. And again, it's going to just be more publicity for him. So enjoy it while you can, because that shine on that apple is going to come off really really quick, guys and gals. And I'm saying this because as I was about to say, I'm going to go start basically talking about what people and a lot of people I see on the internet who are trying to be pundits about this upcoming election, who were born about 10 years after I got into working in politics. And let's just say people that are like a good 20 plus years younger than me and think they know it all. I've been making predictions about the election. I just want to go, and before I get into that, we cannot underestimate the danger of Donald Trump. And I do consider him a danger. I don't think I need to explain why. Again, for those on the other side who believe that January 6th was just a few tourists and a couple of, Antifa, infiltrators, I can't communicate with people like that. I just cannot. There's 3,000 hours of like video footage on my side and a congressional hearing that got like Super Bowl. That's all I can say. I mean, it's already been settled. So, and I go, and the thing is, we have to understand when, after this upcoming election, no matter what I say here and no matter what our opinions are, if Donald Trump wins, if Donald Trump, oh God, it somehow wins this time, it's going to be again with like a majority of the popular vote as it was last time. And number two, it's basically going to be game over. I mean, if you even take out the Republicans, Project 2025, et cetera, it's game over in this country. He's going to be president until the day he dies. But of course, if my predictions come true and Joe Biden wins the election, and again, I have 25 years of political experience behind my predictions, so I think I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. I may be wrong. Who knows? But anyway, we're going to make this fire. But yeah, I think that people just, I mean, you cannot, uh, you, I mean, that's another reason why I'm like to all these people who are like, oh yeah, he's a felon now, et cetera, et cetera. He can't vote, whatever, whatever, whatever. Eugene V. Debs ran for president of the United States from a prison cell. Number one. Number two, like I said, what I said about the trial and his eventual acquittal or time served or, whatever it is, commuted sentence. Flyers. I believe I have flyers. Yep, yeah, I do. So you have to get it out of your mind that this trial that recently happened is really significant in any way as far as the election goes, because and this is another thing that's, I mean, sort of sucky to understand. There are a lot of theories about politics, and the two most kind of frightening ones to me are that really the entire country really does not matter in any election here in the United States. It all boils down to about a dozen counties. That's it. I mean, so all of this stuff about, all the partisanship on all sides and all the passion and noise and fury on all sides, it really doesn't matter outside of those 12 counties, strangely enough. And also, there is a guy, I think his name is Lawrence. Jeez, who's this guy? I'm going to have to look him up. Paste. Paste. There is this guy. Yeah, Lichtman. Let's see. The keys to the White House. That's his name. That's not his name. Um, Adam Lichtman. Alan Lichtman? Yeah, essentially, this guy came up with a thing, and he came up with a list of 9 things. And if those 9 things, if 5 out of those 9 things are true, that individual on either side of that election, because really in this country we only have 2 possible winners. It is what it is. We do not have a 2-party system, as some people say. It's just that we just as we have a great selection of soda in this country, all the brands you could possibly want, but 99% of the time, the only thing that really choices you have are Coke and Pepsi. It is what it is. Sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, this guy, he has been able to predict just about every election. I think the last 9 elections accurately. And I'm waiting for what this guy says in August, and I think he's going to agree with what I came up with. Is that essentially things are the way they are. The economy is good, no matter what you hear from the pundits, etc. But you can go read into it. His name is again Alan Lichtman, and here he is. It's the keys to the White House. It's the article over here on Wikipedia. Look it up. Yeah. Let me see. Party mandate. Party mandate. Joe Biden has that. No primary contest. Joe Biden has that. You could say some people say, yeah. Incumbent seeking re-election. 3. No third party. No significant third party or independent campaign. You could say all you want about libertarians. Libertarians 2-3%. RFK Jr. is a joke. He isn't going to even crack 1 or 2% of the vote. I don't think so. He's going to be some, but let's see. So maybe, I mean, you could maybe say that's against him, but let me see. Strong short-term economy. So Biden already has 5 of the 4 of those. Let's see. No social unrest, and I mean, Islam. Hopefully that. And he has no scandal. You can keep on talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. No one really gives a crap. That has been beaten to death. So as you can see here, Biden already has 6. Let me see if you can just one more of those. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's the thing. He's hovering right on the border right there. If we take into account that maybe there is no significant third party um, challenger in this upcoming election, which I believe to be the case, RFK Jr. is a joke. I mean, here's the thing about RFK Jr. And again, this comes from somebody. I mean, I understand his condition that causes him to be the way that he is, and I totally, empathize with people with those sort of conditions. And I don't mean to belittle the individual, but here's the thing: he is without a doubt, and I mean, you could say, "Oh my goodness, the lack of charisma, et cetera, is a bad thing to base our presidential contests on." But I know I am not alone in saying that the sound of RFK's voice makes me physically nauseous. He is without a doubt the most uncharismatic presidential candidate in modern American history. I mean, to her credit, the first major black candidate for president was an assemblywoman from New York City. I forget her name. She was groundbreaker. She was very intelligent, but she had this speech impediment. It's the same thing that Zaslav Zech has, and to me, I cannot listen to somebody with that. I cannot. I have to leave the room. and it sucks, but that's the way it is. So yeah, RFK Jr. is not going to be a significant thing, and we're going to go into like what I'm going to go into. In fact, I could just continue. Yeah, I got the flyer. So now what I need to do now is I need to go around to every interior that has a bulletin board and place one of these flyers on it over here. Because here's one of the things that everybody has to understand about polling. I mean, right now, the popular narrative about the next election is Joe Biden's on the ropes, and of course, Donald Trump is in the lead. Here's the problem with that. Nothing really matters until about 6 months out of the election, and then that has to get reevaluated about 3 to 4 months out of the election. So everything before that, the entire narrative of Donald Trump being ahead, so commandingly ahead of Joe Biden, is just something that just is not. And somebody again who, I'm sorry, I did work in politics for a lot of years. I can tell you, it's just not. No. That entire narrative of everything that happened before the 6 months, at the beginning of the 6 months before the election, does not matter a squat as far as the election goes, because nobody really pays attention. Quite frankly, it's about 3 months before the election. Now, I knew what was going to happen, and it is happening, and it started happening the moment we got to within 6 months of the election. When we got to within 6 months of the election, things got serious. And all of a sudden, Trump's lead went from 2.2 to 1.6, back up to 1.8 to 1.2, and then it hovered, and now it's at about 0.9. That is going to continue to drop because, again, things have gotten real. All of that stuff up until, again, 6 months before the election matters not. It just doesn't. So understand we're dealing with a completely different paradigm. And now understand that the Trump people are going to have a very big problem with things going forward, because as far as they knew, the last time they were really paying attention, Trump was in the lead. Now, all of a sudden, what happened? Biden's ahead. This is just like the election last time. I never heard about this. Well, that I will say, here's how I come upon these polls, and it's a site. It's center. I'd say it used to be center right, but it's moving to the sort of far right now. But it's called Real Clear Politics. And despite the whole thing, like I said, about the 12 counties and, that guy's 13-point list, you cannot judge anything from a single poll. You have to look of a spread across a certain amount of time. And that's what these guys get right. And I really like, let me see, election 2024. Let's go over here. RCP poll average. You can see here that they are at, again, he's now at 0.9. And you can see as soon as 6 months, things started getting serious. So that gap is going to continue to shrink. And also, you have to look at where these polls are coming from. Understand, unfortunately, polls are, for the most part, commissioned by existing presidential campaigns. There are very, very, very few nonpartisan campaigns, even ones that are like done by media outlets, like Time or CNN. And so, I remember last year, in the last election, I was really concerned because there was this polling firm called the Trafalgar Group. This polling firm exists only for Republican candidates to feel good about themselves. And Zogby is sort of close to that on the left, but there are polling firms on the left that are every bit as biased. And unfortunately, everybody in, the right was being told. I mean, I know this because, this cabbie, he watches Fox News constantly. And he was like, oh yeah, I heard, the congressional election, Biden's going to get his butt kicked. The Trafalgar Group, great polling firm. And I was like, no, They never get anything right. So you see, unfortunately, there's this like, and if you go to that spread and you get rid, if you take Rasmussen's poll, because you can't trust anything from the Trafalgar Group or Rasmussen, they are so far both so far right. Again, they're basically partisan polling firms, and again, nothing wrong with that. Both sides have their own polling firms. Even the Green Party and the Libertarian Party have polling firms that they go to like go, hey, tell me how popular I am. It's the way politics works. Anyway, let's see here. Let's see, this is a big one. Anyway, so understand we are dealing with a situation right now that's fluid and it's only a snapshot from time to time. And I recently saw again this, one of these kids who is, a good 20 years younger than me with about 1 million plus subscribers on YouTube, just trying to break down the election based on what he knows right now. And it was just so just insultingly insufferable that, I felt I don't need to talk. I mean, yeah, I will say I'm going to be partisan. I do not like Donald Trump. I just don't. And I don't think I need to explain why, because I just don't. I just don't. You either under. I mean, if you go to the Patriots.win, which is the Donald Trump fan site on the internet after they got kicked out of Reddit. I mean, one of their first rules is you either get it or you don't. Don't come here, asking us to explain or to debate. You are here at Patriots.win because you get it. You understand. Like I'm winking at the wrong eye each time, but that's the thing. And let me see, I'm just going through that. Mayor's Home, any other radio station? Yeah, that has a flyer. So understand, I think over the coming months, in fact, I know over the coming months, really we're going to be dealing with just another one of those nail biters of an election. I again know that Donald Trump's going to get off with like pretty much scot-free again. With after that, yeah, he could say he's a convicted felon. Yeah, again. There's this one Trump supporter. Goodness gracious, I think it was Ann Coulter who said, Donald Trump could perform abortions live on the floor of Congress as long as he does these things. And I don't think they're even at that point where it's conditional. They'll vote for him if he aborts babies on congressional floor. I mean, they're straight up saying, yes, I'm voting. I would absolutely love to vote for a dictator. And, there's this one guy. I mean, it's strange. Again, this is the crazy thing that our politics are in right now, this crazy state that we're in. But earlier today, I remember this quote from Ronald Reagan, of all people. And I was never a fan of that guy, let me tell you. I mean, these days he'd be considered to be, he'd basically be called, a conservative Democrat. He basically is Joe Biden. But, he said whenever he talked about, his negotiations with the Soviet Union at the time, he always said, listen, if somebody tells you this is what they want to do, take them at their word. And this is one of those cases where, I think in the spirit of bipartisanship, I'm going to take a note from Reagan's textbook, and I see what I'm seeing what Trump is saying, what he wants to do. And I mean, I saw what he tried to do, what he did last time, and I know what he's going to do this time, and there's no joking about it. And so, listen, I think I made that very clear. And, I was saying to Laura, I mean, it is like rather rare that a country does have an opportunity to have a straight up election. Do we want to be a fascist dictatorship or do we want to be a very flawed democracy? But, Laura, I mean, she was absolutely correct. Do we want to give people that chance? I mean, history has shown time and again that, goodness. I mean, heavens to Betsy, let me just say, I mean, one of the things that fascists will constantly deride is democracy. And I have to say, to a certain extent, there is a great deal of flaws. Oh yeah, I never put one of these in the library. I don't think it would be in the. I can see people chatting over there, going, "Why aren't you talking about politics?" No, that isn't me. That's the world's worst impersonation. That isn't you. That's just me. I'm sorry. Let's see. I'm looking here to the library. Yep, that is the last interior that needs these. And after this, the lost and found is done. That took me all day because there are about 6 different elements to it. But it all depends on a lot of stuff that could happen between now and then. And again, even if Biden does win, he could win by, at least, 10 million votes. And again, his side will say, we were robbed, we were cheated, et cetera, et cetera. Let's march on Washington. And again, I think I've discussed like if we did have a civil war in this country, how it would like pan out. It wouldn't pan out very well for the right. It just wouldn't. And that's why I think it's a bunch of bluff. I mean, they did. I mean, if you do not know, they really honestly thought, and a great number of the Republicans, this may be our day to overthrow the U.S. government. They straight up did. And so there were people that were prepared that day to take violent action. But again, the one thing that, again, I remember going to, anybody who goes, oh, we were just a bunch of tourists. I follow politics to a certain extent, still to a certain extent. And I went to Patriots.win prior to that day, January 6th and 2020. And I remember them discussing, okay, Washington, D.C. has laws against using weapons, but it allows us to bring these kind of farm implements and tools. They were literally arming themselves to go in there. And so you can, and of course, oh no, those were Antifa infiltrators. They were or FBI people on the Donald. None of us are really like that. Yeah. I don't know how many times they're going to try that one before they just realize that that don't fly. No, who are we going to believe? You or lion eyes is what it is. Anyway, I think that's all I really had to say. Is that don't buy this whole thing. I mean, number one, be cautious because do not underestimate that Donald Trump may just through there may things that could happen that would lead to a second term for him, and and do not underestimate the situation that might come about as a result. Just ask Ronald Reagan, as I recently just pointed out a minute or two ago. But on the other hand, understand we're dealing with a very fluid situation, and unfortunately, there are people who've been trying to build this narrative of, oh yeah, the election's over. The election's over. They did that last time, in 2020. They did it the congressional election, and each time, oh no, it was not over. They've been selling this narrative. Oh, the election's already over. Joe Biden's lost. And again, after you saw these people, at the judgment, you just made sure that Donald Trump is going to get reelected. Nah. I mean, nobody really gives a crap about the trial. I mean, outside of just just vague interest, etc. Outside of like his hardcore base, really, none of us do. We just don't. Sorry to break that to you. That's painful. It looks like some of these flyers are not properly, the textures you can see there, they're kind of screwed up. I'm wondering why. See there? Material I need to work of. See if I can do that. One. Yeah, there we go. Like this flyer here, this material. Yeah, and I can see everybody's left. That's great. Hey. And I didn't expect anybody to tune in and stick around. Again, I don't expect anybody to really enjoy. Let's talk about politics. Oh, is my yoga flyer gone? Is my yoga flyer? No, I got my yoga flyer. There we go. All right, so yeah, I need to go to my list again. And I'm pretty sure some people over there had some chatting things they wanted to talk about. You know what? It is what it is. And I'm pretty sure some people go, Eric, you really should talk about politics. Well, meh, it is who I am. And I do. I mean, really, I just want to mark myself. I mean, if Trump does go into into office next time, hey, when the militias start rounding up the commies and everything and start shoving us in camp after that first day of dictatorship, come on by, come on, come and get me, guys, come and get me. Let's see here. Just want to make sure. Let's see. Yeah, wait. X points. Library cards. I got one of those done, but I need to do the other one over in the library, and I could do that right now. And that means I can move this down. And let's see, I still need to find the lost and found. There we go. And let me see, when we're done with that, let's just check what our percentage done will be, because we'll be done, let me see, 46 items done off of our list. Definitely not, but times 46 equals 39. Yep, we're very, very close to 40%. If I can get one thing more done tomorrow, we're going to be up at 40%. Anyway, to those who are not watching anymore, I'll be right back. Well, somebody said they were actually interested in that. I'll be right back. Where's my? Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. Wait. Okay, now we're back. And I noticed for some reason my sound track. I thought it was a mix that was playing over on YouTube, but I'm just going to start that. Okay, hopefully that isn't too loud. Now, I was going to move on from politics, but I wanted to touch on one more thing that you need to keep in mind as far as the coming election goes. Excuse me. Okay, just making sure that the audio in the background isn't too high. And by the way, I didn't see any questions over there about Peace Island or life in general. If you have any, please just type them in the chat. That's what I'm here for. But I may get to you in just a minute. Now, Yeah, I was making the library card for Joe Bain needs to be put on the right over here. Believe it or not, we have. Let me just show you. Do I still have that document up? Yeah, we literally have card numbers for every member, every person on the island. They were that crazy. Um, let's see here. Lost if I clipboard. Where's my? Oh no, no, no. It's yeah. Open sprite image and then open the because we want Joe Baines. Yeah, we got library cards for everybody too. That's again, people who I'm going to talk about Peace Island for a bit before I proceed with my political BS. Uh, I you know sorry for my itchy noses. At least I'm not sticking my fingers up there up to my elbow. All right, so it's not too bad. Let's see. Up to me elbow. Let's see. Gotta blending options. I like for some reason when you zoom in on the card, I'd like the card to be at an angle. Don't ask me why. But yeah, I mean, this is another thing where it's like, why put all this again? Every one of these pieces of information is important. Every one of them, and you don't need to know it all, but we would like it so that again, the only I have to reference again something that I talked about, I think the last time. There's a book that it's sort of like this cult science fiction fantasy book. And, apparently my experience was very, very, very common. In that when a lot of people who read the book for the first time, they're like, my goodness, none of this, it's so just simple and whatever. It's very simple. It's very, very formulaic. And a lot of the stuff in there seems superfluous. Where is this all getting us? But the thing is those who have been, I'm among those people who got 40% in before quitting. And I am slowly going back through the 40% that I did read before because I'm understanding that there is a rhyme and reason now to the why to why it was written that way. Hold on for a moment. Because here's the thing, it's very similar. I mean, I'm not going to say that we have the same sort of like we're doing the same thing as Gene Wolfe did. And the book's called that I'm talking about is called Book of the New Sun. It's just as I'm researching this book series that he did, he is the closest person I've discovered. That's it's like yes, that is the way fiction should be written. You present the person with a bunch of stuff and you trust them to care enough to stick around to discover that all of the information that they were presented with will take on more and more meaning as they go along. And that is what Gene Wolfe was able to do. And I hear all these people there that were going, "Oh my goodness, it's like unlike anything else." To me, it's like, yeah, that's the way writing should always be done. And so that's why I'm saying why we're doing this level of detail, like library cards, library card numbers, knowing everybody's addresses, where they were born, etc. So everything in here leads to something else. Trust me. And at the very beginning, you're going to be wondering why am I presented with all this information? Trust me, you will be. You will understand. Because from what I understand, and I've not gone to this point in the Book of the New Sun, but from what I understand, at a certain point, understand that the book begins with the main character saying, "I have perfect memory. It's my curse and my joy, etc. To have perfect memory. I can remember everything perfectly." But at a certain point in the second book in the series, the main character who's narrating this ice cream truck, he does something where he's able to take on the memories of another individual. And so understand at that point, everything that you've read up to that point takes on a completely different meaning. And so I understand that people have read this book like 7 times, and I don't expect people to read it, play the game 7 times, without fully understanding what the heck is going on. And it's a very interesting thing. I again haven't been able to sit down and read it because I haven't been able to sit down and read it and everything. But the nice thing about it is that there's audiobooks and there's a podcast that like goes into more detail about what's going on. And I'm just, as somebody described it as a book that's very good about teaching how to write a book. But let's see, I was saving this as the cards. So anyway, that's why I had to go into this whole explanation why we're doing, you know, so much detail and all these little just receipts. Why are there receipts? Why are there 3 different letters referencing this one thing just in the the demo? Because it is all important. And now, yeah, let's save that. It just is. And we are going to say bring over ID cards. And this is another one of those things when we started working on this, and that idiot, what's his face, Brett Dunham, who started. I mean, I was just explaining, hey everybody, this is what we're doing. Now that I'm paying you, I expect you to listen. And oh my goodness, there is what you're trying. I remember the plaintive sound in this like 60-something-year-old veteran game developer's voice, where he was just, but do that. What you're trying to do is very hard. And I said, yes. So let's get on it. Let's get this done. And anyway, it's just sad. We've been given an opportunity to do this stuff. You don't understand. You have to do so much graphic design. Fine. How many hundreds of cards do I have to do? Again, just the demo has 500 pages of stuff in it, of original content. I expect the full game to have it, well over 2,000. I mean, you're telling me, it requires a lot of writing? Well, golly gee, I just happen to enjoy the craft of writing. Oh, it requires a lot of graphic design. I just happen to really enjoy doing graphic design. It sounds like maybe this person who's just like, what you're trying to do is very hard. Maybe that person should have never gotten into game development. It's just what I'm saying. Brett, and if you're watching this, and I know you aren't, because you're too busy, I don't know, trying to brew up meth in your basement. I really don't know what you're trying to do with yourself. Oh, my headphones are going down really bad. But anyway, my headphones just went out of power. But anyway, this guy, I just didn't understand. That was the first like hint. That was like, maybe I hired the wrong people when I'm just like explaining, yes, we're doing an open world adventure game. And the first thing I get is, what you're trying to do is very hard, Andy. So honest to good, oh goodness. It's just sad. It's just, again, if there's anything I would rather do, if I could go back in time and fix, it would be, just taking Laura's advice and never hiring those jackasses. Because in the end, we wound all their work turned out to be absolute garbage, useless, and we had to eventually wind up doing it all ourselves. Except for 1 or 2 people. We had Richard. He's the guy who developed our soundtrack, and we really dug him. Arjuna. He dropped he's, you know what? We're leaving his work in here out of a sense of just, well, the guy, apparently he really wanted to work in gaming. He just was not all that good at it. And, but he did some stuff, even though it was very kind of bad and wasn't as good as what was there before. We're keeping it in there just so if he decides to get into this in the future, because he didn't actively try to rip us off. He just did a really bad job. And I also think it may have been mentally, a little bit. Because, oh my goodness. I mean, I've never listened. I mean, every meeting, you can count on him screaming at the top of his lungs. He couldn't wait to be heard. He would literally just start screaming in the middle of whatever discussion was going on until everybody shut up and paid attention to him. Again, Maybe it was a sense of security. It's charity. I don't know. I just stupidity now looking back at it, quite frankly. But hey, what you gonna do? 2020 hindsight. Oh, and Peter, if you're watching this, hiya, guy. He went under the name of Arjuna Gonzalez, but I mean, Arjuna, if you do watch this, you're getting your real name in the game. In fact, yeah, because I think the reason that Arjuna was going under the name Arjuna Gonzalez rather than his real name was, I think, it's the same reason that Brett Dunham goes under several spellings of his name, because he knows, well, I am who I am, and I'm going to eventually do something that really screws with my rep. So, it's best to like work under a pseudonym. So later I can go, oh, that wasn't me. That was that other guy, and well, nah. We believe in giving giving due credit to those who did the work. Let's put it that way. I don't think we have a read object at all on this level, but I think we have one somewhere. Oh, no. Do we? I don't think we have a single read object in this entire flat. Well, maybe we do. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. All right, well. I'll just have to bring a read object over. That's no problem. Yeah, be suspicious of anybody who says, oh yeah, I want to work for your project, but I'm not going to use my real name. What are you afraid of? Oh, and I'd be remiss, and the last thing because I know they're going to be tuning in. Because I know they're going to be watching again, as I have to just go again to Mike Sharonofsky and Mike Bonafide, the original OG scammers. I'm going to continue mentioning your names forever and ever and ever. In fact, I very well may put a mention of you. That may be something I talk to with the publisher. We just want to mention a couple of people in the documentation. Will you have a problem with that? I say no. So, and it would just be a matter of, again, giving them due credit for their work, or in this case, lack of it. How come we don't have any? Hold on. We have to have readable objects because this book isn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I never fixed all the. Ooh, oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. That's something that unfortunately requires another day. Because this library, in order to get the readable stuff, I have to reorganize this entire scene. And that's going to take just another process. And it's something that I've been putting off for a while. But, what we did do is, let's just see here. The Lost and Found, yes. We got that done. Let me see if there's anything in our list that I could take care of really quick. Oh, fix Spark UI. Laura took care of that today, actually. Awesome. So we are now very close to 40. We're good. Let me just make sure that this. So really, yeah, we're past 40 once I can get this whole library. The library is like one of the last places I'm doing all the readables in because it has literally all of the books. We only have 10 out of the 14 books that are going to be appearing in the book, I'm sorry, in the game completely done. Three of them are in the process of being written. No, four of them are in the process of being written because I started working on the last one just the other day. And again, it's kind of crazy because I started working on this because I always wanted to write narrative fiction. Never was going to be very good at it, but I wanted to always give it a try to see if I could do it. And, I said, after trying so many times, I wasn't all that great at it. So I was like, I still could tell a story through game development. And then here I am. I'm winding up still just sitting here writing books, entire books. They're only 30 pages long. They are Chuck Tingle in length. And don't ask me to explain who Chuck Tingle is, please. Anyway. Let's see here. Yeah, so we hit 40% in our thing, and that's in our thing. Let's see. Uh, just want to see here. Anything else? Menu sounds, tourist attraction. That's something that would be just like a couple of hours. It'd be fun to do. Because one of the ways that you could get your name mentioned in the game was to be, have a tourist attraction on the mainland that would be seen in a brochure that you could see in a couple of places around town. And we only had one guy sign up for that. And that would be just a really quick thing for it. It would be fun. I don't know exactly what he asked, but we can make it fun. And some of these, unfortunately, like Rain, they're still listed in the stuff we need to get done, but I think they're going to be the 5% or 10% that it's not going to be done, by the end. Wow. It is crazy how quickly, I mean, we're zooming in on like 90% done. It's crazy. This would be very simple to do, and that would get us right up there. But the problem is that means going into books and actually adding stuff that's spoilers and content. And I don't want to do that while I'm streaming. So, yeah. God. Oh, yeah. One thing I do need to do: move this sucker over here, over to the school. The telescope should be in the school. I'm not going to tell you why. You'll find out why. But because Joe Bain's card is there, that's why it has to be over. Yeah, my headphones are reminding me again that I'm running out of time. I got these Bose headphones, and I will say I do absolutely dig them. I consider I'm 80% deaf in like one ear. Where is the school? School. Schule. Wo bist die Schule? Schule. There we go. I think, yeah, I'm going to be able to move this in there, and then I'm going to have to shut down my headphones. That sucks, because the acoustics in this place, I really can't play any music while, because it's through the speakers. It only really works the headphones. Okay. And we just add this to the rest of the experiment stuff. Well, it is what it is. And in the school is actually a heck of a lot of stuff. That's the only place where you can find 3 textbooks, a bunch of what the kids are up to. One of the kids left some of their notes there, etc. Where would it be? Considering the teacher and their kids, the teacher would keep it behind his desk, out of where the kids, just so the kids don't damage it. It's really big, actually. It's actually proper sized. That's why. It's not really on the floor. Is it Die Schule? I always all German nouns that end with e are feminine, so I figure it's Die Schule, and maybe Der Schule. And I don't like the way that pillow's sitting there, Mister. Obey gravity, you. All right, great. Yeah, he would have that back there. And oh yeah, there's this guy over here. Uh, the guy in the terrarium. He may be perhaps one of the, I mean, outside of the cats themselves, Dave the Snail may be one of the most pivotal characters in the entire narrative of Peace Island, really. But I don't want to get too much into that sort of stuff, you know. For our friends over at Annapurna Interactive. I don't know if anybody's watching. Let me see over here if anybody's watching or chatting. Oh, somebody is watching. Hello. Hi. Is it Mom? How are things down there in Kentucky? Has Francis been able to solve that like mysterious package puzzle I sent down there for Christmas? Let's see here. Okay, so we got that done. Um, oh, and I need to write the note that goes along with this whole thing. So I need to add. Okay, add note from Joe Bain to beside. Add note to and I'm going to add just sort out read guy. I'm not going to insult myself too much. So really, we sort of took a step back there, but it is what it is. You know, one thing I could do, add bounce sound to the green ball. We really need that. Let's see here. What's this horrible crap playing in the background? I mean, I usually like a Pop Digma Berserk, but that's just too, I don't know what they're doing there. They're like one of those bands that just like wavers between, I don't know, my idea of decent Euro techno and just, I don't know, My Chemical Romance sort of stuff. I mean, in this video here, they're literally looking like My Chemical Romance, but plus 10 years and a little bit of heroin. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go, a mix. That's good. Okay, so we moved that over to school. And oh yeah, I was gonna fix the ball that the drone, yeah. I wanted to make a nice classy sound when it hits the ground. So yeah, there we go. Anybody who's played the demo, I mean, knows that these guys are around. So I mean, it's not a spoiler to show them, but I'm not going to explain what's going on with them. Just saying. Let's see, bonus ball. Yeah, we need the proper sound elements added to this so that when these guys drop these things, you can hear them. Yeah, audio source, good. Because we got the script properly applied over here to the wine bottles. I just need to do that. Collision sound, that's what we want. An object sound and the collision sound, and we need to get rid of that previous thing. So the bonus ball paste component is new. We want to turn off the audio source, and we want to add, just to make absolutely sure I get the right thing. Sorry. Object sound. Oh, there we go. It has two sphere colliders. That's very unusual. So, yeah, and it. Okay, collision sound, glass. Exactly. That's precisely that we want. We could test that right now, actually. What we do is we turn off all exteriors in the market. It'll be cool because we'll definitely be good, like at 40% at this point. And after I reach this, I unfortunately have to go offline and start doing. I really need to get this 14th book into a sort of a better coherent form. It's called, jeez, Laura and I had a discussion about this the other day. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, here, we'll just zoom in on that word there. I mean, it was the name of a god and stuff, and Lefe, Lethe. Is that pronounced Lethe, Lethe, Leth? I don't know, but it ties into something else. Yeah, the book that I'm writing is called. Let's see, a taste of. Um, and it deals with a woman in our memories and such, and it's one of the more challenging narratives I've tried to write for this game. And Laura sometimes said, again, she's sort of like, why do you have to write a little 30-page book for every? So, well, because number one, we need places to mention contributors. This every character in there can be somebody who contributed, etc., etc. And number two, um, every page gives us stuff to hang narrative points for the greater game on. And so I mean, this is a game that you're supposed to. I mean, I don't. We like to. It's a game you're gonna like. Curl up with like a book. It's sort of a mix between a little bit of action and also just sort of a casual because you're going to be doing a lot of reading, a lot of walking around, just a lot of noticing small details here and there. And anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, yeah. What I was going to do is I was going to turn these guys off. Understand these interiors are really heavy. Oh, did I? I didn't change. I didn't apply the overrides to the bonus ball. Hoop. Don't tell me I lost it. Collision sound. No, you got it. Good, 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 good. Okay, so let's go over to the game. And this is very minor what I'm trying to do here, just to test. But so I want to make sure that this guy. Yeah, you're decent. Should a little bit lower, buddy. There we go. Yeah, around that height. All right, and apply overrides, and then we could play and test this. Yeah. Oh, my headphones are out of power. In fact, Renault is saying, "Oh, it's still giving me sound. It probably may give me like five notices." Let me drag the test spawn location into that location, and then unfortunately I have to step away for a moment while it parses things. I will be right back. Oh, it's already where it needs to be. Duh. Okay. I have to go and charge my headphones. I will be right back. I'm going to pause this music so that it doesn't go through these headphones. I'll be right back. I was hoping that Ronan wouldn't run away before I got back. So let's see. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to make sure that my sound is hooked up properly. I am so happy with how the market performs now because at a certain time, my God, it was just really crazy the performance that we would get. Sorry, that was my Discord inside of here, but we've really fixed it now. So we got, let's see, speak on. Okay. Let me see. Huh. For some reason, we can't hear the oh, we can hear. Okay, I can hear the meow. So, huh. Oh, we caught it. We have to stop and go again. I think we got too close to that guy before he disappeared. And by the way, those things, that thing there, I can't go into spoilers. What exactly it's doing? Trust me. Again, it'll all make sense at a certain point in the narrative of the game. Because I think I talked about this last time again. Because I talked about it in reference to George Lucas's first feature film, THX 1138, which, by the way, is available on archive.org. You can watch the original cut, which I think is superior to his like CGI'd return. Is that there is a certain in Western storytelling. Unfortunately, there's the thing that we get into, and in the past so many centuries, is that we just don't seem to like mysteries, and it's ooh, I'm getting a weird sound. Yeah, fixing all the sounds of everything in here. Wow, those just disappeared when I hit them. That's odd. Those pickles just disappeared. Okay, fix disappearing pickles. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Add that to the list. Fix pickles. That's odd. Or they were like pickled eggs or something. They look like pickled eggs. Anyway. All right, let's sneak up really close. And I'm going to turn up my volume so I could hear it. It's great. Oh. Oh, it passed right through the floor. That's odd. That shouldn't happen. I think the floor may not be set to the right level, or the right tag or whatever it is. Because yeah. Hmm. Oh, I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. It was my mistake. There, that's why. Let's give it another try here. I'm just making sure that that little ball, when it hits the floor, it makes it glass. Tink, 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 tink sound. Fixing the sound for the grocery stores is not going to be an all-day job, I think. Because right now, it seems that only half the products in the grocery store have it's properly set up to create sound when they collide, and when they do collide, it only grabs one sound effect. We never added. There should be like up to five different sound effects for each. Like thing we had wood, porcelain, plastic, glass. Let's just see. Yeah, see these eggs over here. Let's just take. Yeah, see they disappear. That's weird. I've never noticed that before. But okay. Anyway. Ah. Not the best sound effects, but hey, it sounds like it's working. Oh, that's great. Okay, I could put one thing off there again. Let's see. Even though and during this, I've gotten rid of what, 3 things, and now we've got about an extra 10 or 10 that we've added. Let's see, green ball. What's that green ball? Oh, fixed glass at City Hall. I took care of that today. Yeah. Oh, and there was sound, add bounce sound. So really, my goodness, we're doing add lost and found signs. 3 things. My goodness. We actually got some. We're actually getting stuff done. I may have to reevaluate where we are. You're gonna have to sit there and watch me count. Yep. Yep. Nobody's watching. Nobody's tuned in. That's great. That's just the way I like it. No viewers. Let's see. 1. Working out. I try to keep these in like lists of 10 apiece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Figure out exactly where we are in our progress, you know. So we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 2 things from this list up here. Actually, no. Yeah, yeah. I know, gripping viewing, right? It isn't time to feed the at 7:44. Very close. Tell you what, when it comes time to feed kitty cats here, it's time for me to go. 8, 9, 10. Okay, excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8. And bring these 2 down. Yeah, apparently, like I got news. Our save on exit doesn't work. That would solve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So we have 70 items remaining. Boy, I think I started this morning. 70 items remaining. But we have how many in the done column? 10. So we have 50. When we started this list, it was just about 50 items, and now, you know, it's got so big. Oh, goodness. We're up now up to 100, like 120 items all told. 50. So let's just do the math here and figure out where he is. Times 50. 41%, baby. That was my goal before I went back to writing. So thanks a lot for those who tuned in. And hey, I hope it was as boring for you as it was for me. Talk to you later. Bye bye.